For many of us, when we're diagnosed with hypothyroidism or told that our thyroid isn't working, well, it may have been the first time we've even heard of a thyroid. Or even if we knew that we had one, we might not know what it does or where it is. Well, first I'll tell you, it's right here at the base of your throat. And now I want to talk to you about how it's supposed to work, what happens when it doesn't, and what we can do. Your thyroid is part of your endocrine system. The endocrine system is a series of glands throughout the body that use hormones secreted into the blood to communicate with other parts of the body and to control various functions. And let me tell you, your thyroid is involved in a lot of functions throughout your body. Here are just some of the systems that your thyroid affects. It affects your brain, your heart, your fat cells, your lungs, your liver, your muscles, your joints, your sex organs. Throughout your body, thyroid hormone has an impact, which is why when you don't have enough or your body's not using it correctly or efficiently, you can have some terrible symptoms. Let's talk about some of those hormones the thyroid makes. Well, first of all, I'm going to talk to you about TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. You see here? It's not actually made in the thyroid. It's made in the pituitary gland, and yet that's what the doctor always measures, which kind of doesn't make sense. If you want to know about thyroid function, you should probably check the thyroid itself. So what does the thyroid make? It makes three things. It makes T4, a little bit of T3, and something called calcitonin. We're going to focus over here on the T4 and the T3 because that's what's so critical when we talk about thyroid function and thyroid malfunction. It's important to note that your thyroid mostly makes T4 and we have to convert it to T3, and I'll talk to you about how. First, if you look at these, you can see this is T4 and T3. Can you spot the difference? There's not a huge difference between these two chemically, but in fact, there's a huge difference in how they act in our body. I'll let you know, it's over here. If you see that little purple dot on the bottom of this one, that's T4. There's no purple dot in the same place on that one. That's because your body's lopped off, if it's working correctly, one iodine to go from T4 to T3. It has to be that exact iodine, or you don't have the right active form of T3. Seems simple, right? But this conversion, that's where it's at. If this doesn't happen, you may as well not have any thyroid hormone. And that's why sometimes it's not enough for the doctors to give us Synthroid or levothyroxine, which is this hormone synthetically. Sometimes we need some of the T3 itself. So as you can see, your thyroid primarily makes T4, a little bit of T3. The T4 goes elsewhere in the body to be converted into T3. Your brain and your heart and a couple of other places can directly use T4 and convert it. There's enzymes to convert T4 to T3 in the brain and the heart to do some functions, but not everything. Most of the T4 goes to your liver or to your gut, and that's where it needs to be converted. That's where the enzymes to convert from T4 to T3 are, which means, my friends, if your liver is not functioning well or your gut, you're not going to get that thyroid hormone conversion. That's why when I talk about thyroid health, so much of what I'm actually talking about is how do we get your liver and your gut to work better. That's why we want to eliminate all those trigger foods because they really bother your gut. That's why we want to really get rid of toxins and talk about blood sugar balance because it affects the efficiency of your liver. So in order to get T4 to T3 conversion, we need to have our whole body healthy. And that's why we change our diets, in order to help our bodies work better.